happened to be the president of Shillharbour Lions when the Health Committee brought the submission that we should start a rest home in Shillharbour. At that time there wasn't a nursing home between Wollongong and the border, and he suggested that we approach council and asked them could we convert the Alderman Gorrell house on the hill to a nursing home. We approached council, they agreed, and been very good to us ever since.
Older people back in the 1960s used to either live at home, cared for by their daughters mainly, or in hospital verandas where older people who couldn't be exited from the hospital would end up living, geriatric verandas of old country hospitals. And that was the situation. And they knew, those volunteers got together and they knew that that was not good enough, that older Australians needed places to live that were specifically designed for them. And in 1964, they formed those committees and started the hard work. And it's really impressive what they did in such a short time. By 1968, they had a site, they had a location, they had a landlord, they had services, and they opened the first doors in January 1968.
Well, the community became heavily involved, and that was very, very important to keep so many people actively interested in the organisation.
Yeah, everyone was involved in Warrigal care in the initial stages. That's what it amounts to. In 1968, we had no less than 27 donations recorded in the board at one meeting.
When it started off, the first appointment was the matron, the only paid member of at Warrigal. The volunteers did everything else: cooking, cleaning, nursing, comforting, and those volunteers were principally the wives of Lions Club members.
All the directors on the board are all volunteers. They are absolutely vital. Without volunteers, Warrigal could not provide the services that they provide.
Well, there wouldn't be a Warrigal without volunteers. That's the start. Faye Smith, she was a bit of a loose end, wanted to know what she could do for Warrigal care, so she started the auxiliary, which is still going.
Initially, they were the carers.
I became first involved with my husband, Sidurine. He was in the Lions Club. When my husband's involved, I'm involved and the whole family's involved. I was washing the sheets, making toffee apples, cakes, you name it. We did all that for the Fates.
We raise an awful lot of money that goes back into Warrigal.
Really, the auxiliary is the fun side of volunteering. We have monthly meetings, we have entertainment every month, we have luncheons, we get invited to go to different luncheons, we meet a lot of people, and it's a great group, a really great group.
The reason I became involved with Warrigal and become a volunteer was because I was putting back into Warrigal that they gave to us when Mum was in the nursing home.
When you volunteer, you meet all walks of life.
That's what it's all about, helping other people. I thoroughly enjoy that.
They do it because they want to do it, and they usually do it because it's rewarding.
I was asked to help out at the nursing home at Albion Park Rail, and that was for two ladies that were mentally very, very bright, but physically impaired. They wanted to play a game. They wanted to play Rummy Cub, and I thought, never heard of Rummy Cub. And I said, I didn't know how to play that. And they said, that's fine, we'll teach you. And there were so many others interested in what we were doing that the diversional said, I think we're going to have to change this because we can't all play Rummy Cub. And so we started bingo. And we're still playing bingo, and that must be like 15 years.
work that the women did was tireless. It was incredible, the work that the women did, particularly the auxiliaries, forming these associations, forming these clubs, not getting together for tea and scones, but getting together to work out what hard work they needed to do was really incredible. They not only started talking around town, they not only started doing the hard work of raising money through fetes and op shop and events and so on, they then provided the early ancillary hotel and care support services. So I want to say a really big thank you to the auxiliaries and those early women who worked so hard, actually still today, working incredibly hard to make the best thing possible for older people.
Well, when I inherited or became the chairman, I looked at the board of directors and most of them were around the 72 year of age mark. There's only one female. And I thought, this is not good, because the females think differently to us males. And I needed that other thought from the female side. So very quickly I was able to almost get equal numbers of females and males, and some younger people, both male and female, on the board of directors.
Well, 50 years ago, the volunteer committee started the great work. 46 years ago, we opened the first location on the top of Mount Warrigal. But today, only 46 years later, 19 different services at 12 different locations across southeast New South Wales, all the way from the coast all the way through to the capital.
In 2014, we have 350 volunteers. We've got volunteer bus drivers. We also have carers on those buses. We have volunteers that come in and do activities, daily activities, whether it be playing cards or bingo. Volunteers that also go into the homes and just have one-on-one and have chats. Just, have a great old chat with them, reminisce, those sort of things.
Now, people often ask me where we're going, what happens next. 50 years hence is interesting to look at, but what about the next 50 years? Our strategic plan starts to scope this out. It says that we're compelled by this vision that older people will have great lives. So we have very big plans at Shell Cove and in the Shell Harbour area to expand our services and make them really world-class for older people who want that. And of course in Wollongong, all across the northern suburbs, and Wollongong CBD, we have big plans to meet the needs of the people on our waiting lists and the hundreds of people who receive in-home services. Well, they also deserve a great place to live in their later years. So Warrigal has a very big expansion plan, and it really relies upon volunteers and staff and our community partners to bring that together. So when I meet a volunteer, I look them in the eye and I know that they want to be here just for no other reason than older people deserve a better life. That's a compelling mission that they join with us. So I'm really inspired by our volunteers every day.